everybody's gonna say, right?
What?
Oh my God, he's wearing a beanie.
You've worn them before.
I know, but still, I haven't worn one in a while. But everybody's gonna talk a bunch of shit because I look a little different because I'm wearing a condom on my head. So.
Well, winter showed up on my birthday. We can't.
Dude, winter
that.
showed up for real, man. It's cold as here, man. It's finally a hoodie season, so that's dope. Yo, what's good, guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we have the first impression on the upcoming Under Armour Curry 6, as far as that's what they're saying. It's the Curry 6, even though it's the Curry 6, because it hasn't been official,
right,
like from Under Armour yet. Like, you can't for sure say that it's the Curry 6, even though it's the Curry 6.
They can come out and say, just kidding.
They could actually. That would be up. that would, not only would it be up, but it would be hella funny if they were just like, this model, we're scrapping it. The only thing is that they can't, because they've already brought it over here and they're ready to distribute it, all that stuff. It would be a big mess, but it would be fun. So with that being said, we're gonna briefly go over my thoughts on what we see here, as far as like what I think everything is going to perform like, what the tech specs are gonna be, and all that kind of good stuff. I made a post on there. How many comments are on this thing?
Over 500.
Well, 500 people not getting on this video. I'm sorry. I appreciate every single one of you guys that left a comment, though. I definitely do. But that's a lot of comments, man. That would be a really long video, and a lot of them probably repetitive. So Jody, my wife, Mrs. Wing, is going to pick the best ones. Is that what you're gonna do? She's gonna try.
I have a good assortment.
Okay, so she's gonna do that. But first, let me just run through my thoughts real quick. The traction looks interesting. They are carrying over that circular pattern that we saw on the Curry 4, as well as the middle portion of the Curry 5. However, there is a section of the outsole that looks like it's cross-hatched. It also looks like it's completely flat or smooth, and that part's kind of sketchy, man. Not gonna lie, that doesn't look right. I hope that it performs well. I hope that they've wear tested this traction pattern and all that stuff really, really well, and on multiple different floors and court conditions and all that stuff. But the main thing is that circular pattern that's on the outside of the shoe, that almost always works. So I'm surprised that they didn't use that on both sides. That would have been the smarter move, but they're trying something different. Hopefully it works out. There's a lot of speculation on the cushion, but with what we can see visually, there is that netting around the entire midsole, which to me indicates that Under Armour's hover cushion is going to be used full length. Now, in shoes like the Hover Havoc as well as the Phantom, they actually have that hover cushioning system inside of a firmer EVA carrier. That does not look like what they're doing here, which is interesting because Curry personally likes his shoes to be a little bit more on the firm side, and that's an understatement. It's like they a lot on the firm side. He likes them stiff as a brick.
He just wants solid rubber.
He wants to be on the floor. I bet you if you would let him play barefoot, he would, and he'd still get buckets. So I don't know if this is going to be super crazy bouncy hover cushioning. I don't know if it's going to be very much subdued hover cushioning. I don't know if it's going to be hover cushioning inside of EVA, although I doubt it. But whatever the case may be, it looks like hover is going to be used. Or actually, I do know that it's going to be hover. We just don't know officially. Like I said, we don't even know if this is the Curry 6, even though it's the Curry 6. I don't know if that's hover cushioning, even though, I mean, it's hover cushioning, guys. It's going to be awesome. Materials look pretty basic. I'm not like thrilled with them or anything like that, but it's also the colorway. I'm not impressed by this colorway. I do not like it personally. I can't wait to see the Dub Nation colorways or some of the more like vibrant colorways. Like, what's that one that I have with white with the shell that's kind of gray with the weird colors in it? Can't remember any of these shoes names. There's, to me, like with all of the brands have gone way overboard. Every shoe's got a name or a story, and I just don't give a f. But if they're gonna be posting some clean colorways like that, or maybe like a confetti colorway and all that stuff, obviously the Dub Nation home and away, although they did not do that with the Curry 5. They went away from what they did with the past 4 models, and they did not do traditional, like what they've been doing.
Right.
And that irritates me, not specifically Under Armour, but that does irritate me a little bit, that when I love a colorway, and this sounds stupid on top of that, like don't get me wrong, like even I understand, like this sounds dumb, but like when I like a colorway, I want to get that colorway on every model, even though it sounds really stupid to be like, I want to get the same color on a bunch of different shoes, because then you're not really, the variety is there as far as models, but like colors are not. But for me, I play basketball in these and I wear them sometimes casually, like especially for like Dub Nation games, stuff like that. So like I want the Dub Nation colorways versus the Pi Day colorway or whatever, like some dumb stuff, you know what I mean? I don't mind like if they trickle in new colorways here or there with new stories, but I love what they did with the first model, where there was the Dub Nation home and away, there was the birthday, there was the Davidson, the father and son, or father to son, the Hornets colorway. Like I love that. Hopefully we get that with the 6. Actually, I do take that back now that I'm looking at the materials. The back half looks like knit, and then the front half is the part where it's just like, I don't know what that is. It looks like fuse, looks kind of basic to me. Not impressed by the forefoot. The back half of the shoe looks dope. That lacing system's super, like, I think that it is all connected, where if you were to pull those laces taut, it's going to actually pull the back portion of the string to wrap and close up around your heel. So it's supposed to maybe tighten up here while tightening up here. I think that that would be super dope if that's true. So those are pretty much my thoughts. I don't know anything about the pricing. I know a little bit about the release stuff, and I'm not allowed to talk about anything. So we're gonna take it over to the Instagram side of things. Mrs. Wing is going to present those, ask questions, and then go from there.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
DG Hoops says, sleek design, can't wait to see how the hover will be, but I know Steph likes a lot of court feel, so not expecting much. Overall, I like how it looks. Can't wait for more colorways.
Shout out to David, DG Hoops. We know him personally. We play basketball with him, all that stuff. Very good guy. Go follow him over on Instagram if you have not already. And I second everything that he said. I cannot wait for new colorways. I am very curious about the hover platform and how it's going to actually feel. The thing with hover is, for those of you guys that don't know, the reason why there's that net around the foam is because it's so, what would you call it? Like when it expands?
It needs to be contained a little bit.
Yeah, because like it goes too far. And so like, you know those things, those balls that you like squish?
Like a stress ball?
It's kind of like a stress ball, but the kids ones where the thing will pop out.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of gross and all that stuff, but they like feel nice in your hand. Like it's like one of those things. That's what that knitting is trying to do. It allows it to move and flex and give you some feedback and everything like that, but not in a way to where like you're gonna roll over or be unstable and stuff. And like I said before, in my original thoughts is that Steph likes to play pretty much on the floor. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. Maybe he has his own version where it looks like ours, but it is low profile and the cushion's firm and all that stuff, which would be great. And then the consumers get something that is more along the lines of what the majority want, which is some cushion.
Hyperdunks24 says, looks great, nice change from the past Curries, looks more rugged and rough compared to the cleaner lines of previous silhouettes in the Curry line.
I agree with that. And I also think that you can see, especially with the 4 and the 5, but this kind of like takes more, I guess, design language from the 4, or you know, the 4 was kind of like sloped, it was smooth. And this one looks like a low top version of that. It almost looks like it could have been an alternate like Curry 4 low. I think that they're gonna be hopefully really nice. I'm really curious about that fit because I've been having issues. The past 2 models have gotten me like some pretty gnarly like chafing and blisters and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that, and I'm not talking about like under my feet blisters, I'm talking about like on my feet, like the way that the lacing works and the insides and all that stuff. So I'm really hoping that this one does not do that.
HCon7 says, I like it. The colors look good and that lace going around the heel looks interesting. Minimum heel slip.
Definitely. Although the heel slip thing, like I think that's like some like new like phenomenon, because like I never have heel slip really in my shoes. Like one of the last times, and it might have been one of the only times that I've had heel slip in a sneaker was with the Jordan CP3-6, the Fuse version. And then they fixed it in the AE. They put a little heel, like a little notch or whatever, so your heel didn't pop up. I think it was just like the lining wasn't like sculpted enough. But my shoes fit me, so like I never have heel slip issues. And I think that too many people don't know their actual shoe size, like their true shoe size. And I think that that's a major issue. Like say you're a wide footer and you're like, oh, I got heel slip, but the reason why is because you went up half a size, right? But you're not explaining that to anybody, like in the comment section, or if you're leaving your review on the consumer review side of like a website, like UnderArmour.com. It's disingenuous because it doesn't help anybody, you know what I mean? And it's not that you're trying to be disingenuous, it's just that you're not explaining everything. You're not saying, hey guys, I have a wide foot, I went up half a size, therefore the rear of the shoe doesn't fit because I bought them to be a little long. And then other people just don't know their freaking size. They try on a shoe until they feel that there is a comfortable feeling around their foot when you're supposed to break sneakers in.
Right.
I used to go into the stores and see people be like, I'm a blah, 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 and they're not. And I was one of those people too back in like freshman year of high school. I thought I was one size, and then the guy was like, are you sure? And then like he measured me out and he was like, nah man, this is your size. You're wearing a size too big, all that stuff. And I was like, sweet, thanks. And like ever since then, like I've always had like perfect fitting sneakers, which makes shoes play better for me because I'm more comfortable and secure and locked in and all that stuff. So yeah, so I don't really have heel slip issues because a heel slip issue is more of a sizing issue usually. And if it's a sizing issue, then that's a you issue and not a shoe issue. but then that heel lacing thing, like I was talking about earlier, if you cinch your laces tight and it's connected and it's drawing that rear section tight also, that would be cool. If there's enough cushion in the back.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna get some chafing. We'll see.
Brizzy B for realsies says,
That's a name right there.
The way I see it, Under Armour has really stepped their game up over the years. I wouldn't mind rocking these outside the court. These joints are fire.
Oh, well, there's a couple pieces of that. The first thing is that I'm surprised with how positive a lot of people have been about this shoe, like the reception. And a lot of them are saying like they like the colorway and stuff, which I actually don't, which is kind of weird. But I think it's really cool that normally when an Under Armour shoe comes out, immediately people are hating on it, especially if it's Steph's shoe, because Steph gets a lot of hate for some reason. I think that it's interesting that this 6.6 is not getting a lot of hate. It's getting a lot of praise actually, and it's very strange. And this is one of the comments like proving that, which is cool. So I'm happy about that. But I personally wouldn't wear them off court. This colorway doesn't do it justice, I don't think. At least this colorway doesn't appeal to me. So I wouldn't wear this colorway off court.
I don't think you wear a lot of your Currys off court.
I actually don't, no. I wore the ones a lot off court, but I thought that those looked kind of cool.
Well, they were a little more beefy. Like they've kind of slimmed
They
them
have
down so much.
Very much slimmed down. They're very thin now. I would love to wear the 5s off court more, but I played in mine so much and they stink, dude. They reek so bad. They're nasty. But yeah, I wouldn't wear these casually unless I saw a really fresh colorway that was appealing to me. But aesthetics are like an individual thing. Like it's all subjective. So every person's gonna be a little bit different.
ABC Michael Chan says, I just wish they did more with the 5s. Maybe releasing a 5.5 without the chafing. They also need to put the newer Currys on sale.
I think that they did a lot with the 5s as far as colorways, but it's just that it's overlapping, much like the 5 did with the 4. You know what I mean? Like they kind of like hit the 4 and then he like jumped into the 5 during the playoffs. And they're really like almost cannibalizing themselves, where it's like you can't, like you're waiting for a good colorway, right? And then all of a sudden the new model's out and you're like, well, I'm just gonna get the new model.
Yeah, they've pumped out a lot. I realized it was because he was on tour a
There's
month
always-
or two
there's
ago,
always
but even
something,
then there's
yeah.
still the confetti ones are coming out.
Correct, yeah. And I think it's because like Curry's like their only dude. Like you kind of gotta like feed the people like, hey guys, Curry, because that's their only athlete. Like they are signing new athletes now, which is great. Hopefully somebody gets a signature or something. I feel like that maybe is the problem. And then the previous model is not gonna go on sale until the next model comes out. So that's not gonna happen until the 6 comes out. And at that point, then yeah, go grab the pair of 5s. I don't agree with the 5.5 thing. I think that whole thing needs to go away. The elite stuff, 0.5, whatever. I think that having the 3.0 as a secondary like budget friendly shoe is cool. I think that that's dope. Much like there's like the Kyrie and then there's the Fly Trap. I think that if you have your budget model and you have your main model, that's all you need.
Buckeye City Soul says, I typically am one of the biggest Curry shoe haters, but I'll admit, these are pretty clean.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Dude doesn't, for whatever reason, whether he doesn't like Curry, he's not a Dubs fan, he's not an Under Armour person, whatever the case may be, a lot of people are actually liking these. I'm kind of surprised. I'm just, not that I'm like Under Armour should get, because that's not what I'm saying, but like, you know what I'm saying? Is that everybody, if it's not a Nike or a Jordan, people automatically like are being like, oh, those are Payless shoes.
People
those belong
aren't
at
hating
Walmart.
just to hate.
Correct, yeah, people aren't just being like dumb with the hate stuff. Like they're actually like, oh, those look kind of cool. That looks like something I would wear. Interesting. I think it's very interesting. All right, guys, so that pretty much takes care of it for my thoughts as well as a lot of your guys' thoughts. I'm sorry that I couldn't get to everybody's questions. There was just way too many comments, but like I said earlier, I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in, checking everything out, both on Instagram, the WearTesters site, as well as here on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for official, real information on the Under Armour Curry 6. News is going to be coming soon. So with that being said, thank you guys once again. And until next time, guys, have a good one.